Well, hey.
Hello.
So, this is the first time that I've done video.
Me too. I mean, seriously.
seriously. I can't believe you wore that shirt.
Well, I felt like, if I was with you, I should wear it. Otherwise, you get weird.
Yeah, I do. I'm very high maintenance. I'm very
you.
diva-ish.
But that's why we became friends,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, that's because we're alike. I mean, diva.
Diva, bougie.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into that because I want the world to know how we met.
Oh gosh.
So we've known it. We're actually filming right now in Buda.
Yes.
I used to live in Kyle, which is
Yep.
the area. I'm not. It's not. It's great.
It's a great area. It's a great area.
But I did live on the what was it, West Side, or was I on the?
No, you're on the East side.
Was I on the East Side?
You were on the East.
Was that good or bad?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I grew up in Austin. East Side bad. West Side good. That's all I knew.
Well, I felt good.
Yeah, and I grew up on, I was more West Side, but like west adjacent. Let's just say
Got
that.
it. So we met. So we were going to the same church.
We were,
but we didn't know it.
We didn't know each other
at all.
Mm-mm.
We both had purple hair.
We did,
which we do not right now.
We don't. We both wore the black glasses, which
we had black rimmed glasses, purple hair,
yes,
pretty bold lipstick.
Yeah.
Oh, look at us today, zippity doo.
Yeah.
And when we joined, it was a Bible study, right?
Right.
Was that
the first time I think was that women's event. Remember, because I brought Mom.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So wait, no,
it wasn't, babe.
It wasn't. That was
we met at Freedom.
We met at Freedom.
Yeah. Which is a Bible study, a study that it was like 6 weeks.
Yes.
If I'm wrong.
It felt like 83.
Do not fact check me. I think that's what it felt like.
It was a lot.
It was very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
We sat next to each other.
We did.
And knew nothing about each other. And at
the end, do you remember what I said to you one night?
No, but tell the story. No, you tell it.
Yeah. So there was after one session, right? So I don't want to go into all the particulars about Freedom, but
of course,
I mean, not to say anything.
Super personal.
It was great. It was great. It was a great experience.
Right.
Oh, wonderful. Highly recommend. But there was one particular night where we were in our small group sessions, and I remember you telling a story. And at that moment, I was like, oh, my goodness. And apparently this is not PC to say, but I said, you're my spirit animal.
Yeah. At a church event.
At a church event, yes.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. It was just something. We'd have been introduced, but I don't know that there was anything other than that.
Yeah.
But it was just like, yeah, she's my people.
Yeah. And we both felt
people.
it. We both felt it.
Well, I didn't know you felt it. I felt it. I mean, I just told you.
You're like, hey, you are my spirit animal,
yes.
So you're coming home with me.
Yeah, right.
I remember meeting you because we sat next to each other. And my story, of course, there's all the little parts of it, but
right.
Not to get into the details of it because it's super personal, very vulnerable. But I pretty much we prayed for each other.
We did.
And I kind of sat on top. I mean, and
yeah.
I'm petite, but not that petite, if you get what I'm saying. I got all up on you. Yes. And we were all praying. I'm like, because there was a big moment that we were asking for prayer, and you asked, but I don't even think you asked. We just did it. But I remember.
I think you like slobbered on me.
I think I slobbered on you, but I think I said some stuff in your ear. Like I was very.
Yeah.
It was a very big moment, honestly. So you kind of get bonded when that happens.
A little bit.
Because it was sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess we just became friends after that. It was weird. Like,
it was weird. It was weird. It was like you were in my world and that was it. That's all I knew.
Yes.
And we were trying to figure out, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Where are we going tomorrow?
Well, let's plan something.
Yeah, let's
just do something.
Yeah, can you move in?
Well, please? And I of course was single. I mean, I'm still single. But I was single, and your husband.
Yes. Yeah. I'm married. I've been married. It'll be 18 years this year. Yes.
Yep.
19 years. Wait, 05, 25. Where am I? 05,
I don't
24.
I don't do
19.
Math.
19 years.
No
19
math
years.
on Sundays.
No math on Sundays.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah. And 19 years. It'll be 19 years this year.
And you have
in October. We have a 16-year-old.
You have an adult child.
I do. Oh my goodness. She's 16.
Adorable.
He's 16. Yeah, it's great. But
So y'all would come over. I would need something done at my house or something weird. And I'd be like, do you think your husband could come and help me? Can you please come help me? And then you'd be like, no, but I'll come do it.
Yes.
And then we just hung out. Help you. It was so awesome.
And then the one time I did bring him, he introduced you to your attic.
Oh, I didn't know I had an attic.
Yeah.
That was new. That was new for me as a homeowner. I was like, wow, he's like, you got a good attic.
Yeah.
He complimented me about my attic. I was like, well, I'm going to start putting that on my dating profile.
And I think you had some other stuff up there that you needed or that we talked about.
Somebody, I think my movers put it up there.
Yes.
I was like, well, there's my brush.
Yes. Or paint. I don't know. I believe
there's that shirt that I've been looking for.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we had him do something.
It was something.
It was something that you needed done there at the house.
So funny.
And then the stories just have.
And then I ended up having a Bible study at my house,
you did.
which that was a big deal because I welcomed people. Ton of people came to my house.
People.
So it was good. So here's what I love. Bueno. No, sir. Oh yeah, Bueno's here. Come here, Bueno. Come here, up here, buddy. Come here.
Mama. Yeah, but Mom doesn't have treats.
Bueno. Go get her, Bueno.
Come here. Come on. Up here.
He's like, somebody's got treats. And
he's like, I know somebody. If you don't know Bueno, now you do. He's my bilingual Chihuahua. He's 3. Oh.
There he is.
And somebody's throwing treats from the audience. We have at least 300 people here. Whoever that was, thank you.
Yeah, calm down.
So here's what I love about, because I know that was a lot. So whoever's still listening, buckle up. Because it's, this is what I want to say about that. What I love about that is that Jesus, I have to bring him up because he's our dude. Yeah. But Jesus will introduce you to people like you and I in his way, on his timing, through prayer and whatnot. But what I love is that our personalities and our realness and our authenticity, we both, where there are a lot of Christians, would have felt like, well, I met at a Bible study. I better stay in Bible study mode or she's not going to like me.
Right.
That'll preach right there. I just got chills on the left leg.
Amen.
But what I love about him is he's like, no. And I don't want to cry. I don't know why that even feels something there. But it's like, he's like, no. I actually I got you to that Bible study to meet because you love studying the Bible, whatever. What I love about him is that he said, no, what I want are my daughters to be authentic and love each other and take care of each other.
Yes.
And be there for each other in the rawness and in the mess.
Yes.
And you and I were I'm not, and I don't mean this, I don't mean this in a rude way at all to the other women in that, but we were the messiest.
Right.
And we happened to sit next to each other.
Yes. And not that I ever felt judged by anybody in that group at all in any way, shape, or form.
Nope.
But I knew that I could literally throw it all up on you. Yeah. And you would hug me, remind me how much he loves me.
Yeah.
And see, now I'm not going to take it. How much he loves me. Yeah. Right. And then that just, I don't know, it made me want to be with you all the time. Yeah, I wanted to bring you home, and I didn't have it. Yeah, I wanted to bring you home. You needed to live with me. Yeah, and that was it, just so that I could have that conversation. It would be weird with my husband there, but you know,
I do it. That's I stayed there last night.
Right.
Speaking of living with you, because we could talk about that forever, and you and I need to. But speaking of that, let's talk about, because I love your story probably more than you do, because I love your story of who lives with you, who has lived with you, and just in your own words, just tell, because I just think it's cool and neat and very unique. Yeah. But I love that part of you.
Yeah. So, we moved here in 2000, moved to be in 07, 08. And when we built the house, we built it in mind knowing that my mom would eventually live with us. Right. My mom was single.
Who just turned 90.
Yeah, she just turned 90.
I love it. That's why I'm in town. It's so awesome. Yeah. But go ahead.
So we knew that, she's single, and we knew that eventually, she would live with us. I remember even walking on the slab or, walking through that, and my husband looking at my mom and saying, okay, Mom, pick your room. And, we just knew from there. But she wasn't ready because she was still working full time. She was like, no, she lived in North Austin, still in the area that I grew up, not in the same house, but literally on the same street, which is weird. But she was renting. And so it just didn't make sense. So when she retired at almost 80, she was 79. She loved what she did. I mean, she worked for Dillard's for a little over 30 years.
For Dillard's. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. For a little over 30 years.
What did she do at Dillard's?
So she's always the children's department. That was
never
her
the
love.
shoe department?
Never shoe. Never shoe. We spent
I'm
all of our money
that.
there.
I'm upset about that.
We spent all of our money there, but never shoe.
I
always
wish she would have been in shoes. I need to say that real loud.
Yes.
I love a good Dillard shoe.
Oh, we did too. We would walk out with stacks. We would walk out with stacks. I mean, you had the discount, and then you had her discount, right? Let me tell you, my son had every color polo.
Now it makes sense.
People thought he was rich.
Yeah.
They thought he was rich, right? That was the thing. Yeah,
I love that.
But the kid had every polo in the world. Anyway, but yes, so that's what she did forever. But and so she was single, and we knew eventually she'd live with us.
Sure.
And so she retired, and she was into her retirement for a good year. I'm like, Mom, it really just doesn't make sense that you are, spending money on rent and you're not getting anything out of it.
Right.
And Sabian was young at the time. And
how old was he?
So he was 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was 5, getting ready to go. Well, he was already, transitioning into elementary school. So I was super excited because we were going to get a raise, right? You're not paying daycare.
Yep.
So I didn't have to pay a second mortgage anymore. And,
Got it.
For daycare. And she moved in. And so he would go to school. I was still working in an office every day, driving an hour and a half to work every day, and an hour to an hour and a half home.
Yeah.
So she moved in, and she'd be there when he got home from school. Well, at the time, my dad was living in San Antonio. He was living in my brother's house, not with my brother, but living in my brother's house, but just not really taking great care of himself.
Got it.
And at a certain point, I'm like, look, Dad, this is not good. Your health is failing, and it's not great. And we eventually moved him to Buda, right? So he lived in a 55 and over community close to our neighborhood.
Got it.
And it was perfect. So I had my mom in my house, my dad,
down
the street. And my dad drove. My mom never drove.
And
so my
how
dad
long
would do
were
all
they
that.
married?
My parents were married for 36 years.
Okay.
36 years.
And how did that end?
So,
are we allowed to share that?
Yeah, we could do.
Okay, because I think that's what.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
No, I mean it's not. It's
but
a
I
got to
do a big smile.
Yeah, I mean
because it's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So they were married for 36 years. My dad left. My dad left us when I was 5 the first time.
Okay.
And so it was just my mom and I. I always say that I was raised by a single mom, and she really was, because he just wasn't there. And I tried for years to have a relationship, and we both tried, but I was angry.
Yep.
And so then he stopped trying. He eventually, the only reason my parents actually got divorced when I was 19 was because my dad was getting married.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the only reason. Because my mom's Catholic. You don't do that.
Oh.
Divorce is not an option.
You're not doing
right?
it.
Yeah, you're not doing it.
But she kind of had to, because
the
other wife was coming.
Yeah, that would have been a problem. Yeah, that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they get divorced, and, my dad's living in Buda.
Got it.
And then, living around the corner. But yeah, 36 years. That's a long time. It's a long time.
Golly.
A long time for them to be married.
And so fast forward a tiny bit.
Yeah. So he, his health continued to fail. Even though he was right around the corner from me, there were things that he just wouldn't share.
Okay.
And it's fine. Hey, you want your independence. You want to take care of yourself. I'm here for it.
Right.
I'll help as much as I can.
Right.
I'll help as much as you'll allow me to.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Because he was pretty independent.
Very. He didn't want anybody in his business, didn't want anybody telling him what to do. And I get that. I respected that to a certain degree, because then I would just start to get angry.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you can't eat all this garbage and think that you're going to be able to maintain a healthy life, right?
Got it.
And stay upright.
Got it.
Well, he started falling more and more. And then after a period of time, he had one pretty significant fall where I remember I was actually I was out doing a volunteer project with the church.
Yeah.
We were, beautifying somebody's house. A mom who had brought a foster mom who had brought in I think it was 4 siblings is what it was. And we were redoing their bedroom. It was great.
Okay.
And I get a call from my husband, and he's like, have you talked to Dad? And I'm like, no, I haven't. Not today. Let me call. And so I call and I call and I call. I could never get him. Well, fast forward a little bit. My dad had fallen and couldn't get up. I know. I didn't want to say it like that.
He had fallen and he couldn't get up. We are not sponsored, but we know it's important. Well, hey!
Hi. Hi, Bueno.
Come here, Bueno. Come up here.
He's like, no, I just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish we had that on video. The bonus. See, he's going to just go in and out. So I'm okay with him going back and forth.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bueno. Okay. So, now.
He's fallen. He can't. Okay.
Is that on video? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Buddy. Oh, his hair's messed up.
Oh,
look at his
hair.
hair.
Fix your hair.
Bueno. Okay, let's get back to it. So
he's fallen.
He can't get up.
He's fallen. He can't get up.
Okay.
Yeah. So fast forward through that, he ended up being in the hospital for a period of time, and this was like the 3rd or 4th fall, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
My husband and son are the ones that ultimately found him and had to go and help him.
That's just not.
He just couldn't live alone.
Yeah.
So then what do you do, right?
Here it goes, guys. Get ready for it.
What do? You take care of your parents,
Absolutely.
Right? The Bible says, you honor your parents,
Yeah.
regardless of
all the things.
They're humanists and everything, right?
This is
it's
where
not
you stand.
about.
This is where you stand apart, though. Just so you know.
Thank you.
It
I know. I
is.
hear that a lot.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting. My mom, my son, my husband, and I. And mind you, my son was little.
I know, but I love that he was always included.
He had to be part of the conversation because it's a big deal. I mean, we're going to move somebody else into our home. And doing that, I mean, it's not like we have a gigantic home.
No.
I had just painted the beautiful blue wall in my office because I was so excited to have an office where I could work because I could work from home a couple days a week if I wanted to.
Yep.
And so I just did all that. Well, we decided to move my dad in.
What is he doing?
We
Sorry, he that was going up and down. Oh, here it goes. He's trying to bury it in the studio. It's fine. God, if we could just get a... Okay, so... There you go. Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy.
So we move him in, right? Hi, buddy. Come on. You want to come up? You can come up. Hey.
He might need you to help him.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we move him in. Okay, and he's gone. And
Bueno, just right here, buddy. You want to come up here?
Okay.
Just eat your bone, buddy, please.
Yeah.
For the love of Jesus. Just right there. Eat.
Okay.
There you go.
I love him.
I know. We all do. Everybody
Okay,
loves a
so
good
you
Bueno.
move in your dad and
yeah. So my mom has lived with us at this point for several years, right?
Right.
She's established. This is her home. She gets mail there. It's a thing.
It's her
right?
house.
It's
Yeah.
her house. Yeah. She has her own room. So I have my divorced parents living in my house. I'm 45 years old. I haven't had parents in my home together since I was 5 years old.
oh my God, y'all.
Okay, and it's
I
my
know.
office. And it's my office, which is the front of our house, right?
Yes. That's what I love, y'all, is that he lived in the very, very front. Like when you hear the divorced part, that's the part that was funny to me when I first met her. 'Cause she's like, yeah, my parents lived with me. I'm like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You think it's
Yeah, like they're a couple.
they've been divorced for this long, and
Yeah.
no, they barely like each other.
Right.
But yep. So when you go and visit her, he was at the front, the very as front
first
as you
room.
could be.
Right. You walk in the door and there he is.
And then she was as far as you can to the back,
Yeah,
which I think
exactly.
is so funny
Yeah.
to me, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
So
it was. So that it was what it was, right?
and how long? Because I know,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But how long?
So my
he
dad
there?
was with us for 5 years.
Okay.
He was with us for 5 years in totality, right?
Yeah.
So, and then shortly after he moved in, he was diagnosed with colon cancer.
Yeah.
And so we went through that. Again, still having to care for him,
Yeah.
all of his needs. My dad also had dementia.
Yep.
That's a really big part of, what we had to, sort of learn to live with.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's, the constant cueing and reminding, of just normal things. Right. Believe me, there are so many people that have it worse. Right. And that's how I would get through every day.
Yeah.
But then I started working from home full time. So I literally was working in my bedroom.
So many funny stories.
Yeah. My bed was here. My desk was here. My commute was great.
Your commute was really good.
It was really good. Yeah.
No traffic.
Yeah. None.
Unless there was like clothes on the floor.
That's right. Then I could just trip and fall. And I also had my own bathroom. So it was great. I didn't have to worry about any of the things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
Well, what's hard is that it's just not you. It's your husband having to figure that out.
Right.
And your son.
Right.
Who's being raised in a very, that will grow you up.
Yes. Well, and also growing up in a home with 2 moms. Are you kidding me? He didn't know what to do. Poor kid.
Yeah. 2 Hispanic moms.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And, there may or may not be a character trait that I may or may not have.
Which one, Petra?
I like things a certain way.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I've stayed there a couple times.
Hey, don't judge. Anyway.
Serious.
But yeah, so the kid's growing up with 2 moms and essentially 2 dads, right?
Yeah.
So everybody, all of the adults in his house
Everyone's
are telling him what
parenting
to
him.
do. Yes.
Everyone's parenting him.
And he's like, now I don't know what the heck to do.
Yeah.
Wait,
you told me to throw it away.
Yeah.
And you told me not to throw it away.
Right.
So I'm going to go put it in my room.
Yeah. I'm just going to hide it. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to hide it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And your son's name is Sabian.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Okay.
It
I
is.
love that.
Yeah.
He is I compare him a lot to Kylie because, of course, I have a daughter, 27, but she is just a special breed. Like, they're just different.
Right.
And I don't mean, we all say that about our kids, so I'm
Right.
not trying to say, but they're just different. Like, he is a kind, there's something old soul in him.
Right.
That is just beautiful. So
Well,
I have to
and
say
I always
that.
felt like that too, that this kid is he's growing up with such a heart of compassion because his grandparents are in his home, right?
Yes.
So he sees full circle. Unfortunately, my husband lost his dad to an accident while he was working when he was very young. He was 11 years old when his dad died, just before his 12th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he, his mom raised the 2 of them, as a single mom. But it was tragic. It was a tragic, horrible story.
For sure.
And he lived, my in-laws, my mother-in-law lived in San Antonio.
Yeah.
So we're not far from them. I have family in San Antonio. My brother's there, and my nieces and great nephews and things like that. They're there. But, in our house, this was our core, right? So we had to figure out what a new normal was like. But let me tell you, the worst thing is being 45 years old and not being able to walk out your front door without having to tell 7 people where you're going. There's not 7 people in my home, but I'm like, wait, I'm an adult.
Like, I'm allowed to just leave.
Can I just...
I know.
There were times, this, I told you this, I would
know.
leave from the garage just so I didn't have to answer the questions.
Because her garage is like in the kitchen. It's the only place you can literally sneak out
Yes.
from.
I'm having to sneak out of my house as an adult.
I know. So
luckily
funny.
I had a lot of practice from when I was a kid.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. That's true.
It's
You did
different.
well. You did well.
I did. I learned. But yeah. So it was, that's what it was. If I was a writer, if I was a good writer.
Yeah.
You
have
I
a
would,
story. Cause
I would have a telenovela all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Because you would tell me stories about him. And,
oh, yes.
Oh, God. The
yes.
funny. And it's dementia. Of course, we're definitely not mocking that. It's a disease. And it's horrible to watch.
Yes.
But y'all had some funny moments.
Well, Cracker Barrel,
Cracker Barrel.
He had a caregiver that would come out once a week that would, sort of help so I could have that time that I didn't have to worry about my dad for those hours.
Yes.
I didn't have to worry. And
you have to have that.
Yeah, she literally came and would just take him. They would go to Garcia's or they would go to Cracker Barrel.
Right.
And they would hit every Goodwill in
the Goodwill.
Radius.
How many? Tell the world what he would buy in Buda, Texas.
It does not matter. Everything that looked old was an antique.
That's my future.
Yes, exactly.
He would buy so many things. He had how many black leather jackets?
Between black leather jackets, black button-down shirts. My dad was Johnny Cash in another life.
100%.
Black jeans. Yeah, he would come home with so much. I'm like, Daddy, do you really need 26 black shirts? They all look the same. No, they don't. This one has this. This one has that. He was always very particular. He had to have his black clothes, and he had to have his Paul Sebastian. That was the cologne he wore.
100%. Tell him about didn't he buy a trench coat?
Oh, my God.
Buda.
I mean, it's not, we don't really we really don't get winter here.
A leather
guys.
one.
Yes.
At that.
Yes. And he loved all his deals. And then closer to the end, when things started to slow down for him, he got very much into African art. So I had heads. I had things
I did not know this.
Things that look like swords. I mean, they were all over. I would walk into his room and I'm like, what? And then he was always hanging. The man had a hammer. Was hanging things on the wall.
And he wasn't afraid to use it.
He was not afraid to use it.
Everything was a nail.
Oh my gosh. Everything was
that.
a nail. Yes.
Kylie, when we visited you one time and Kylie was with me, just let him out. He wants to go adventure. When we went over there one time, I know Kylie tells this story, but how much he cleaned the island.
Oh my goodness.
He would clean the island. I can't believe
the granite shined like the sun.
Was so shiny. He would just stand there and just clean it and clean it and clean it.
And that was his thing every night, every single night. And it wasn't, yes, it was an annoyance because it was just a thing, right?
Yeah.
So it was just like, but I'm like, is this giving him purpose? And did I have to get over that? I mean, you and I had this conversation.
100,
yeah.
Like,
I just need to get over it. The man wants to clean the granite. Let him clean the granite.
Let him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I needed him to be safe, right? Because he had to use a walker.
Yep.
And he was not stable on his feet at all. And that was always the fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, eventually it got worse.
Yeah.
As everything else
and
does.
so unfortunately we've lost Mr. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we lost him in December.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm sorry.
It was hard. It still is, but
I know. It's even weird for me to come there. This is the first time I've been with him not there.
But,
and it was really weird seeing the office. Like when I walked into I was like, oh, his stuff's not here, or he's not greeting me.
Yes.
When I would walk in, he'd be like,
hey,
what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was invited.
Yes. I promise.
It was very interesting to see him.
It was
I had
hard.
a couple moments yesterday, especially with the 90th birthday, and I know it's a lot for you.
It was a lot. But yeah, but it's so bittersweet, right?
It is.
Because he was just such a prisoner in his body.
Yeah, he was. So he's free now.
He is. He's free.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, in fact, when we were going to church, I was brought up Catholic. I always joke or I say that I'm a recovering Catholic. No offense to any Catholics in the world, but
it's okay.
It was just different than where I am today in my walk today. And to see my dad walk up at church and give
I remember that.
I remember there's pictures that everybody would send, he would walk up at the end because, the pastor would ask if anybody wants to give their life to Jesus, you go down there, and he just did it on his own. Walked all the way down. I helped him to, come back because it was just very emotional.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful. And so, even though I miss him like crazy.
Yeah.
I know it's just bittersweet.
Yeah.
Right? There's no more pain.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
And he's free.
Yeah, 100%.
And our relationship, that's the other thing, right?
Yes.
I never got to have that as a kid. So,
so much redemption at the end.
Yes. It's crazy.
I don't know if that's the right word to use, but I know I think it's okay to use that word because you guys,
we healed.
Because he was a little, with his dementia, it's not the same dad, but there was a lot of healing that happened.
There really was. And I got to hear him tell me how proud he was.
Yes.
Of me, which is something I always longed for as a kid.
Yeah.
And so that was everything.
Yeah.
That was worth everything.
Is it okay if we get some Kleenex? If you don't mind.
All of the hard stuff, right? So all of the frustration, the anxious nights and being at the hospital, because literally I had to take him to the hospital all the time.
Yeah. Especially at the end. Yeah.
So it was hard. So, we did have to move him into, a care facility for a period of time.
Yeah.
Before he died. And I was there with him. And I just kept thanking him and telling him, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. Because as much as he made the mistakes as a father,
Right.
and didn't do it the traditional way,
No.
obviously, at the end, you kind of want them to know.
I did. I told
You
him he
still,
did his job.
you still,
and I
still
thanked
did.
him for everything.
Yeah, you're still. I am who I am because of our relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there
Exactly.
is still good in it.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing because I mean, when you think back to where I was and to where I am today,
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus,
Yeah.
that's
100%.
just it. Yeah, and that's for everything. I mean, I made so many bad choices in my life, and there were choices.
Yep.
Because that's one thing that he gives us is our free will,
Yeah.
and those were choices that I made, and and it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay, and I'm
Yeah.
better for it, and I'm stronger for it.
Your mom, of course, is still
Oh yeah, 90 years old.
90 years old and feisty, and told me
Yes.
about where she got her nails done yesterday. And she's like, I look good. I do not want to sit down. I sat down too much at church today.
Yeah.
I mean, she's feisty.
Yes.
How do you think if she could talk to us, right? I mean, she can, but I'm saying if
Yeah.
she was here, how do you think that was to live? Like, is there a big
Oh, my
thought that, like,
goodness.
to live with her ex?
Yes.
I mean, I don't even want to get into the negative side or whatever,
Yeah.
but how do you
No,
think
no.
that affected her and the death of him and just going through that with her daughter?
Right. So, my mom has always been my rock.
Yes,
Always.
she is.
She's truly
She's
is
a lot of
rock.
people's rock.
She is.
Seeing the party yesterday,
Yeah.
I got to just be kind of I literally just watched. I loved it because I got to just watch your family, and
Yeah.
I really love that. But everyone was saying that to her, like
Right.
you're, and everyone called her mom.
Yeah.
I thought you had 97 brother and sister.
Yeah.
Because everyone was like, "Hey, mom.
Yeah.
Hey, mom." I'm
Yeah.
like, I thought she only had one. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
it's just
fine.
me.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Because I call her mom.
Yeah.
So
Everybody does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very cool.
That's just who she is. But no, I mean, I've always said that my mom is an angel. I'm like, the woman is a saint. And this was a conversation that was had many years before my dad moved in, where he asked her for forgiveness.
oh wow.
And she's like, I forgave you a long time ago. And he was like, you did? Yeah, but not for you. And she had to make sure he knew that. Not for you. I did that for me. And Jesus forgave me. And the woman who's never done anything, Jesus forgave her. Yeah, so how could she not forgive my dad?
Yeah.
And so they've known each other. They knew each other since the time that they were 12 and 13 years old. Or 12, yeah, 12 and 13.
Jeez.
And so they grew up together. I mean, that was just how that community was in East Austin. So everybody
Yeah.
went to the same schools. They graduated from Austin High, so that was just kind of the thing. And living together, I think, really helped the two of them heal from whatever it was.
See,
right?
that's what's so great is that in the mess of all
Right.
things, I mean, that's just so great because you've told me that before, that there's so much healing that happened during that.
Yeah.
And he had to get dementia for that.
Right.
He had to start losing ailments. I mean,
Yeah.
things that we on earth are like, look at all this bad stuff that's happening.
Right.
But all in all, that all had to happen
Yes.
for healing with his daughter,
Yes.
healing with his ex-wife,
Yep.
the mother of his child. I mean,
Right.
a lot had to happen in order for that. I mean, I know I'm not saying anything like like
No.
I'm not. This isn't a secret to anything,
No.
but it's just very cool how it works out like that.
It did. I mean, and people would tell me all the time, like, you're just so amazing for what you're doing. But I didn't know any other way to be because this is how my mother raised me.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
We always did for others. That's all I've ever known. So I
Yeah.
do have a very, very, very big heart and a very big servant's heart, right? And I can't help it.
Yeah, you do.
You get
And
pissy at me all the time.
I
and
do.
I'm
I
like,
get so
can't help
mad
it.
at you because I'll like she. So
I can't help it.
You love to support my comedy and
Yes.
my you.
So proud of you.
You will come to my comedy shows. You will do anything that you can. Well, good. What I love about you is when I invite you to my house and the groceries you bring.
Hey,
You will bring a cooter board in a second.
Well,
Some
what
people call it
else?
charcuterie board, but it's cooter board.
yeah.
Y'all, everybody out there.
I mean, we love to eat. That's our
Yeah,
that's our
but my
thing.
gosh, she's like,
we
"Hey,
love
I've
it.
got 17 bags from HEB." I'm like, "You're staying for 1 hour."
Hey, it doesn't matter.
You're like, "I got olives and some cheese that I don't even know how to say."
To eat. We love to eat.
Jeez
That's our
Louise.
thing. I mean,
Well,
we love to eat. That's what I think.
I love that about you. You are a servant's heart. I mean, even yesterday. But I love that you also are learning. What I see a big difference in our friendship, because we've also only known each other. How many years is it?
So
Is it only 6 years?
at the most?
That's what's so great. Because it's not 6 years.
No.
It's like 101.
Lifetime.
Yeah, it's very weird.
You're very
we met a
comparable.
long time
Yes.
ago.
Yes.
But what I love about what I've seen in you, what has changed, is you do what I saw a little bit different yesterday, and I haven't even told you this because, I mean, but you are you're enjoying the moment a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Is that something, do you agree with that?
I'm trying.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I can tell you're trying.
Right.
I will say that.
Yeah.
You are. Because I've seen you at parties before, or Easter, or something that's happening at your house.
Right.
And you're a lot like my sister, all over how she used to be, all over the place, making sure everyone's this, making sure everyone, I've got this. Do you want more? And I love that you weren't like that yesterday. You were in the moment a little bit more.
Yeah. And I said this to you when my dad passed, that one of the biggest, two of the biggest things that I feel is my phone doesn't ring 85 times a day. That's hard, right? So the silence is deafening. And I'm like, wait, I was so involved in all of his care.
Yeah.
Even when he was living with me, when, there at the end, when he wasn't.
Yeah.
100%. So I was driving back and forth to New Braunfels, driving back and forth.
Yeah.
But I was always there. Even though there were people there to take care of him, I couldn't let that go.
Right.
Right. I couldn't. I'm very controlling in that way. I know that.
Oh.
Right.
I didn't know that. That's weird.
I know. Right.
Glad you admitted it.
Yeah. I mean, hi. Start the
Hi.
meeting. Yeah. But no, that was the hardest part. It's like, what do you mean? I don't have to. Like,
Yeah.
what am I going to do with myself?
Well, I bet that's really hard.
It is. It's hard, but
you
it
miss
allows me
to do other things.
It's now allowed me to open that door to myself. So, like anybody that was offering to help me with my mom's party,
you were like, "Yep."
100%. Before I would have been like, "Oh no, I got it. Oh no, I got it.
I
got it. Oh no,
I heard
got it."
somebody ask you, "Where do you want this bowl?" You're like, "I don't care. Just put it somewhere. I'm easy. Just put the bowl somewhere."
Yeah.
And we were all like,
Yeah.
So
yeah. I didn't have a plan.
Well, this is a good transition into you as a person. Yeah. Let's talk about you as a person and what's been happening in your health journey.
Yeah.
Because I met you 5-6 years ago, and we've had our healthy days and we've had our not so healthy days. But you, which I love, because I think I can say this, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think you've officially, with the help of some really great people that you're going to talk about, it's different this time.
It is.
It's forever.
Different.
It's a lifestyle.
We were both doing, that was another way we connected. We were both doing
CG. Camp
CG.
Gladiator.
Yep.
Camp
Gladiator.
So that was, but I had a different coach and you had a different coach, but we still had something in common.
Right.
And I loved it. I loved the workout. It was really great. But I think this time it's different. I think you see it more as a lifestyle, and it's not about a diet. It's like, I have to take care of myself and this is how I'm going to do it.
Right.
But you also are still eating cake.
Yeah. So I have a breakfast.
She had that for breakfast, guys.
I did.
So just talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to because I would love to just hear kind of the journey and,
So, my entire life, right? My entire life, it's been a struggle. I go up, I go down, but most of my childhood and early 20s, I was on the upside, right? So I was much heavier and I never played sports. I wasn't involved in anything like that. My mom didn't drive. I didn't want to put that pressure on her.
Yeah.
And admittedly, I didn't like being around people. So, teams and things like that were not the greatest for me.
Yeah.
So I just never did. I didn't, and I also didn't do high school the way most people. They talk about their high school, and I'm like, I could care less. I think, honestly, one good friend that I knew from that period of time still today. We actually live on the same street, which is fun. But, so I've always struggled. My weight has always been an issue. It's always been in the forefront of my mind. I was very self-conscious about absolutely everything. And that was also my comfort.
Food was your comfort.
Food was very much my comfort. And it wasn't, I don't sway 5 or 10 pounds. I mean, I'm 5 feet tall.
She is 4'11" and a half.
She is 5 feet tall.
She's a tiny. She's a little keychain. She's a keychain.
That's what she would call me, Petra
She's
Pocket.
a Srsly Melissa keychain.
Yeah, exactly.
With her little shirt on right now.
Exactly. But, it was just, I wouldn't go, people worry about their 5 or 10 pound weight. I mean, I was like 40 pound swings. I mean, 10 pounds on me looks like 83 pounds on somebody else, right?
I tell Jesus all the time, thank you for making me 5'11".
Thank you,
because
right?
I will eat a cake.
Right. And, people always tell you, oh my God, I can't, there's no way you weigh that much because you carry it so well. Really? Do I? I look like a barrel with legs, a potato with legs. A potato with legs. There you go.
A barrel with legs. Stop it.
It's the truth. That's what I was.
No offense if there's any barrels out there.
Yeah, that's
No
right.
offense.
Yeah. Or SpongeBob, because I'm square pants. Square pants. Yeah. That was the other thing. Oh, I'm like, I know. And honestly, you can even ask my husband when we were dating, or I think we were engaged at this point. I remember sitting around a table with his best friend and his wife. And I'm like, but why did he choose me? I'm like, why me? I'm serious. That was the question. God. Why? Right. So I mean, then I was pretty fit. I mean, I wasn't like I am today, but I was fitter.
Yeah.
But again, a ton of weight. I mean, at my peak, I was 209 pounds, and there wasn't a baby growing in me.
God, 209 pounds at 5 foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm telling you, potato legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop saying that because that makes me laugh. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, though.
Because that's funny.
Yeah.
The barrel with legs is even funnier.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so you've
so
lost weight.
I've lost weight 100 times,
That's
right? I've done all the things. I've done,
how old are you? How old are you
I'm
right
51
now?
today.
51.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I've done every single diet.
Yeah.
If it was a diet, it was out there. I could pay $1 million for it. I mean, Oprah did it. I might as well. All of those things. I did all of it. I mean, but if Oprah made a pill, I would find that too.
100%.
100%. Because that's
you
the
get
easy
a pill.
way.
You get a pill.
We all get a pill.
We get the weight, but you're skinny. Yeah,
exactly.
You're skinny. Yeah, I get it.
But I've done all of it. All of the fad things.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the bad things. All of the fad things.
Fad and bad.
Yes. Yep. And so I would lose it, and then I'd stop doing it because, hey, I'm good.
Oh, I just found an ad.
Yeah, woo, I got it. Yeah. And then I would put it all back on. And I was done. I just hit a point where I was done.
Yeah.
And I felt like my life was sort of out of control. It wasn't, but I felt like my life was out of control. There were things that I couldn't control in my life. And this was the only thing that I could, right? So then it became sort of almost an obsession.
Yeah.
In a really bad way.
Yeah.
In a really, really bad way. And I was still doing CG.
Yep.
Religiously.
Yep.
But still not seeing any difference.
Because food.
The fact that, because food.
God, I ran a half marathon at 300 pounds, and I thought at the end I'd be at least 254.
And nothing happened, right?
Zip.
Yeah. I
hear you. It's food.
All right. It's food. It's the fork. You can't
if you got a fork, it's over.
Yeah. It's it. Yeah. You can't outrun it. You can't outrun it. So I did everything. Everything. Well, then.
So, what happened? Is there a moment that you're like, okay, good.
There is.
I love that.
Yeah. So, my Wonder trainer, Marla Favors, she's
her.
a local, let us know that, hey, CG is going to start, I keep saying CG, I should say Camp Gladiator.
That's okay, yeah.
Is starting, a sort of nutritional, part of the program.
Not just the workouts,
Not
but
just
there's
the workout.
more to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
And she was going to be getting certified. And I was like, well, if you're going to do it, then I'm going to try it. So there we go, right? And I'm like,
Dang,
Marla.
nutritional, the N word.
Yes, nutrition. Yes. I was like, why?
Why couldn't it be like Nutella?
Yeah.
Or something,
Nabisco. I mean,
Nabisco.
all of the processed things. Yeah. Okay. All of the processed things.
We are not sponsored yet.
Yeah.
We could be.
Yeah, there you go. But she, she sort of put that out there to the group. I've got this great group of women that and men, because there are men in our group.
And what time do you go every morning?
5 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah, 5 a.m. at, right now we're at Johnson High School, guys.
Johnson High School, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're at Johnson High School. But yes, it was religious, but nothing was changing. And something had to change because everything hurt. I was, having back injury after back injury, or it would lock up, or my knees would hurt. I mean, it was just always something. So I started doing the nutrition program, and when she first sort of laid it out for me, I'm like, wait, what? How many who? And you want me to count what? And now I have to log it. Now
a macro.
No.
Isn't that on Excel? I do not need to do an Excel spreadsheet
No.
right now. I need to eat a salad.
That's right. And because in your mind you're like, oh, the more salads I eat, the
yes,
healthier
that's
I am.
what's so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that wasn't it. So
At all.
yeah, and of course I knew everything. When I first started, Marla, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. She's like, try it my way. So I tried it her way. And it didn't work. I'm not going to lie. In the beginning, it didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just slow. It's not that it didn't work, but it was slow. And then, so I was like, okay, Marla, yeah.
I need a little bit quicker, sweetie.
I need something because this isn't working, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, and you hear this from all of, people that are in that industry. Oh, it's stay away from the scale. No, I can't stay away from the scale at this point in my life. I couldn't, or I didn't, is what I should say, because I could, but I didn't. And no, I can't. I
Trust
can't do
the
that.
process.
Yes, all the things.
I want to punch people in the throat when they say that. Trust the process.
The inches. Yeah, oh, your clothes are going to fit so much better.
Your jeans look different.
Yeah,
because I have 4 pairs of Spanx on.
Thank you. And I finally got into them.
Yeah, that's why I'm late.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even sweat.
Yeah.
But I did. Finally, I stopped complaining, and that's what it was. I stopped complaining.
It's such a brain
serious.
thing. It's such a dang mind thing, isn't it?
I got serious. I mean, and that's what it was. So it's been
so how long?
Almost a year. Well, no, it was a year in November. So what, a year and 5 months that I started the program?
Yeah. Okay.
So, or 7 months, because I can't count. No, 6 months.
So November,
November of 22.
Okay.
Is when I start. Well, November of 22 when I was just like, I'm done.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
So beginning of 23, I started the program.
Okay.
And have been religious with it since.
And is it just food and eating?
It is food.
Is she still sending
eat. I get to eat. I wasn't eating before.
Wow.
I mean, I literally wasn't eating before.
See, and that's what people don't get, right?
Yeah. I mean, and again, because if it was fat, I was going to try it, right? But I mean, literally, and don't get me wrong. There were still days that I was like, oh, I've worked through lunch and it's almost dinner time. And it's only because my mind is focused here. And it's not because I work from home. I could walk to the kitchen and get something, but I just would forget. I mean, honestly, forget because I'm just so focused here.
Yeah.
But I had to get better about it. I had to eat protein, and that was a big thing.
Yeah.
So through this program and through her encouragement and just her listening to me complain about everything under the sun.
So what I'm hearing that I love about that Marla is very personalized. It's personalizing the system, not system, but the experience. Yeah, the process is personal.
And it's a program for you. It's not a program. So like your program would be different than mine, and my program would be different than Chelsea's.
Mine hopefully is easier than yours.
I mean, maybe, right? But
I'm just joking.
You just have to also incorporate it in your life. And so I had to figure out a way to do that because, my family's not necessarily going to want to eat the way I do.
Yes,
I mean, I have a
that's
son.
true.
I have a son that's an athlete, and
Growing,
I have a husband that works 12-hour days out in the heat.
Yeah.
He's not going to eat a salad at lunch. Melissa, he's just not.
It's okay. I
and
get
that,
it.
Yeah, and his version of vegetables is a little bit different than mine, right?
Yep, it sure is.
So yes, right. And my mom will eat anything, so she's easy. Right?
Yeah,
I can feed her whatever.
Right.
But there was just something had to happen, and something had to happen for me, and it did. And she stuck with me, and she's put up with me through all of this, and I will sing her praises.
So the process with her, just real quick, is it getting the nutritional plan, but you also get her coaching?
Yes.
Like, can someone do her plan without being part of CG?
Yes.
Okay, so
you can
that's
do
good.
the nutrition piece because 100%. That's the key.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I was doing all the working out.
Yeah, I know.
You couldn't see muscle tone in my body to save my life. I had bigger bat wings than anything. I mean,
calm down.
No, it really was.
Don't let
Stuff
me.
was hanging.
Okay.
I mean, there were fat pads under here.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, okay.
I'm just saying.
I sleep with those.
I had 75 chins.
I have extra pillows on my bed.
Yeah. I had all the chins.
I know.
Not to mention the fact that I had, I was like cleavage up to here. I was just like, it was a lot. There was a lot of
when
me.
you're 5 foot,
there was a lot
you're
of
having
me.
to put some in your pocket.
That's right. I should. Yeah.
You're having to
tuck it in. strap it back.
Yeah. So
I
mean,
had to do all
honestly, I
that.
can only imagine.
Yeah.
Well, you look wonderful.
Thank you.
You really do.
Thank
And you definitely aren't even like as sluggish and as you're like,
No, I
feel
actually, I mean,
good.
all the stupid things that you hear those people that go
Yeah.
through these journeys say, I'm like, I'm never going to, I would never understand that, but it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I definitely have more energy.
Don't you hate it when they're right?
I mean, she's right.
Marla.
I mean, she is right.
Dang it, Marla.
Yes, and it's not like Marla was the only one that,
No.
in the world that ever told me these things, but it was the support.
It's a timing issue too. Like when you're ready,
up here,
all up here, then
yeah,
it all
because
clicks.
Let me tell you something, and I see it all over the town that we live in and all over social media and all over the world. These, the shots, the pills, the things,
Absolutely.
and all of the stuff. Don't even get me started how frustrated it makes me because, they're not. And again, because I've been there, but you're not helping yourself.
No.
And that was one thing I had to continue to remind myself.
Yeah.
The easy way is not the best way.
Got it.
And so it's been a very slow journey.
In everything in life. So annoying.
It is.
Why can't they teach us that in kindergarten?
I mean, they should. That and finances.
100%.
You.
Taxes. First grade, we could start that stuff.
Let's start having those real
and mental health.
Yeah. And again, I always say that. And I say that. I work out for my mental health. I work out so I don't punch people.
100%. Yes. Seriously.
And that really is it.
I love it. I love it. Well,
but it's worth it.
How could... because I definitely want to use this as if I have a platform, even if there's only 4 really smart people listening to this
that's 4
and watching, how could they get a hold of Marla if they are like, you know what, I just want to meet Marla?
Yeah. So, I mean, I can give you her Insta handle. I can give you whatever you need. But Marla Favors, she's at Trainer Marla.
At Trainer Marla.
Yes.
Is that on Instagram?
That's on Instagram. Obviously through Camp Gladiator and Buddha.
Okay.
But and I always tell her all the time, I'm like, you can reach others. I feel like she can.
Well, she's also
so
very encouraging.
She
Let
is.
me tell you a story about Marla Favors.
She's amazing.
I did a Camp Gladiator. I went to her class one time. I don't think you were with me, but I went to her class. I think there was, how times there would be like, they would cancel one and you had to kind of find just different. I went to hers one time.
Right.
And bear crawls.
I do.
Okay. Well, bears don't do human crawls. So I don't know why I was told to do that across a parking lot, but Marla Favors, she stayed right with me.
Yes.
Because I cry when I feel like I can't do something when I know my brain can do it. My brain wants to do it, but my body can't.
Right.
And she was so encouraging, but made me cry. She's like, do one more. You can do one more. And I remember being like, I can't. She's like, yes, you can. And I remember bear crawling 3 more feet. It was weird. All of a sudden I was like, I can do it. And so I always remember her in that moment where she's like, yes, you can. Are you hurting? And I was like, no. She's like, then do it. And I was like, I will punch you. Because isn't she 5'2"?
Yeah, if that.
5 foot also?
No, she's taller than me.
Well, she looked about this big with about all the muscles.
Yes.
Well, thank you for all that.
And it's amazing. She's not only she's not only that, right?
Yeah.
But she has created this group, right? And people
so
flock
encouraging
to this group that, there's 2 different times that we go, but if something's going on in somebody's life, these people will surround you with love and encouragement. We do.
Yeah.
We do as humans. We need that.
Especially like-minded people who are struggling with food, struggling with the same stuff.
Yes.
So.
And all the questions that we all have.
Yeah.
About
What's a
real.
micro?
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Micro.
Why do I have to wait?
Is it macro or micro?
No, it's macro.
That's stupid. Why does it sound like
and
mac and cheese?
Why do I have to weigh it? Yeah.
Why does it sound like mac and cheese?
Because it's good.
Because it's just yummy.
It's good.
Well, I feel like we hit on everything. I could talk to you forever.
Of course.
Thank you for being my first guest.
Well, thank you for having
me. Look at you.
I know, I'm fancy. Thank you for being my spirit animal.
You're welcome, spirit animal.
My person.
Yeah. Well, I love you. Thank you for all of that.
Too. Thank you.
And I guess that's it. I'm good.
I'm good.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, not really.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Bye.